evening, and welcome to this week's edition of What's So Funny, a show that talks about the funny with the people who make it happen. Our guest this week is a friend of the show, freshly tanned from a trip up to the Okanagan, and is getting ready for his triumphant return to Estonia. It's Ari Matti. And of course, we have your host, a bigger fan of the Toronto Raptors than Drake himself. It's Guy McPherson.
I am the super fan.
Yes.
Without the money, who can't afford to go to games. Actually, never been to Toronto, but yay, Raptors, right? Ari Matti? I know basketball's very big in Estonia.
No.
I mean, well, nothing's really big in Estonia.
Well, this would have required a well-placed dick joke, but Lithuania is big. It's big in Lithuania.
That's
and
true.
Also, this is the first time I've ever watched full games at all. You know, and they were wonderful games.
Right?
What a wonderful... I learned the whole thing about game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You know, best of 7. I learned all of that.
You weren't a sports fan at all?
No, team sports, no. Soccer is bigger because we watch the Champions League, but not me. I don't like ball games. You know, but now I like basketball. I was in love with the game, and I learned a lot. I learned about the players. I paid respect to the sport.
Yes.
I wanted a Raptors jersey. I could not get it because Amazon was just out. I wanted the purple one, the original one, the cool one.
The Dino.
Sadly, did not get that, but I was at every game getting fucked up on Main Street. You know, drinking booze, yelling, Raptors, you know, yelling with other Canadians.
What a great experience for you.
Absolutely.
To take back to Estonia.
I've learned so much. I want to get a Raptors tattoo. I'm so, you know, I've learned so much. Yesterday I learned this card game called Cribs. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, crib.
Have you heard about this?
Singular.
Crib.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, it's so Canadian.
Is it?
It's so Canadian.
I don't know that that's true.
It's so Canadian to take like a card game and be like, oh, you thought this was like fun? Here you go. Fucking 15, 31, and 8. You know, and it's like crazy, you know. It was like a full down, it was Levi McCutcheon's father that explained this to me, and very serious, you know.
15-2, 15-4, 2-6, 4.
Everything.
Yeah.
Game within a game.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? So many rules. So Canadian to be like, hey, oh, I know that card game's fun and games. No, listen. This is the rules.
You could do a best of 7 with crib.
I mean, best to everything.
Take it to Estonia. Start
Absolutely.
a crib club.
And I had fun playing the game. And
Cribbage is the official name.
Cribbage, that's the word. Yes. I am the crypt keeper, he kept saying. Yeah.
Wow, I am the crib keeper.
And then, you know, we played
Crypt keeper.
No, but with respect to crib, right?
There you go.
And we played the whole game with the board. You know, you have to get those points. And I was lagging behind the whole time, right? And then at the end, in my head, by accident, I got some amazing, like, you know, I dropped my cards at the end of, you know, and he was still in front of me, and he was giving me like a pity thing. And I dropped my cards, and he goes, unbelievable. This happened, unbelievable. And I'm like, you know, trying to be cool, like, yeah, I know, the 2, 3, and the 10.
Yeah.
Did you come back and win?
I came back and won.
Oh, nice.
Then later, I ripped my shoulder on the lake, you know. Shoulder popped out, and then I have a rupture in my chest muscle and my bicep. I do not know what kind of a rupture it is, but I feel terrible pain.
Did you go to a medical professional?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I do not do that. I don't want to disrespect your government, your healthcare. You know, I will go not in there with a situation that needs no medical care. I will respect, you know, this is your thing here.
Can you move your arm?
I can, but some of the fingers I do not feel.
Really? How did this happen?
You know, funny that you ask. It was yesterday, and that's because I had to learn the game of cribs, right?
You didn't do it playing crib.
No, but I was wakeboarding on a lake. Never done it before. Snowboarding on, you know, water. Never seen it. I've seen it on television. I've seen it when Johnny Knoxville did it. I've seen it when some guy called Dave did it. You know, I've seen things. Levi McCutcheon goes out there, you know, so easy. One hand, giggling, having fun, drinking beer, and I'm drinking beer. He's not drinking beer. I'm drinking beer.
Yeah.
And I jump into the lake, and I just didn't understand. I just didn't. Okay, and this is the funny thing. This is my second time ever on a lake with a boat. Last time I was on a lake, on a boat, it was in Finland. Do not remember the boat. Do not remember the lake. It was just like I was like an 8-year-old kid and my stepdad trying to bond, right? and we were on the lake. And at one point we get to the harbor, right? The wooden thing, or not the harbor, but what is it?
The wharf, the dock.
Yeah, the dock, like a small thing that he had, right? He had a small boat. I do not even remember the boat, but most vividly I remember this memory of trying to help the boat closer to the harbor, grabbing it with my arm, and him going off, like yelling. And, memories as a child, you remember a lot by trauma. You remember the feeling, but not the visual, but you remember the tone of the yelling. And he was yelling at me, what did you do? Why did you grab that? And in my head, I did not understand. To this day, I did not understand. Okay, what's the difference? I'm like pulling the boat in. It's not.
You're helping.
Yeah, my finger's not going to get caught. I'm nothing doing wrong, right? So, yeah, fucking 20 years go past. Now I'm on the lake with Levi's dad. He's on the boat, right? Giving no instruction, right? Being like, at cribs, lots of instruction. Yeah, at the lake, just grab it and go, right? I grabbed the thing. I watched Levi do it first, so I tried to learn the technique. And I just forgot that I did not understand how quick the pull is going to go from 0 to 100, because a boat doesn't seem that, it takes like a while to pop, but I did not understand, you're on a rope, major forces in play and stuff, so grab it with both arms, right? I just grab it with one arm, and then, it's like that stupid thing of like your body just holds on too long.
Yeah.
And I felt my shoulder popped out, and then I felt a tear, like all over through the arm. And that was like, wow, that was like fun.
How did you pop it back in?
So, wait, now I'm on the lake. Painful floating.
With your arm floating separate
and
from your shoulder.
And I look at my arm and I see it kind of fucked up in a weird position, right? And I feel the pain a little bit. And then, so funny, just before we did that thing in the water, right? I remember thinking, like, last time I was on a lake, on a boat, stepdad told me not to pull that shit, and I thought he was, what an asshole, yelling at me on a lake. Who does that, right? And then I popped my arm, and that's what my stepdad was basically saying, right? You grab the dock. What if he would have hit the gas?
Yeah.
My arm. I got a lesson 20 years late, after even his death, And I remember in my head, floating there, being like, this is a classic metaphor, right?
It all came back to you.
I got that lesson 20 years later.
Right.
Because for 20 years, I remember going to the lake and being like, this asshole ruined it. But he was trying to protect my arm. And now
so it really, 20 years later, was a bonding experience.
And now I understand boats.
Right.
Powerful things. Mm-hmm. Be careful.
Yeah.
I disrespect the boats before that. I was like, what the fuck? I'll turn it up and turn it upside down.
Yeah. It's water. What could go wrong?
Exactly. I did not understand physics.
Before.
Lots.
Yeah. So great stories. This is Ari Matti, by the way, who just comes out
right into it.
Boom. Well, I love it. And it's kind of a bittersweet moment you're being here because your time is coming to an end in Vancouver.
So dramatical you are, Guy. I do not like to think that way because it sounds like I'm taken away to Siberia. I'm having flashbacks.
You are going to Estonia.
Yes.
By the way, I wrote this down, 1998, I interviewed the Baltic coup coach. Do you know who that is?
Hold on. What coach?
The Baltic area. The Baltic coup coach. Tony Kukoc. Martin Mursep.
Do
you know Martin Mursep?
Yeah, Martin Murisep. Yeah.
Murisep. He's from Estonia. He's your countryman. I interviewed him in 1998.
Amazing. Well, he was a hero when I was like...
so you know of him. Okay, yeah. He played in the NBA briefly.
Guys who were into like sports, I mean, that was the thing. What did he do? I think he did something that was very... like controversial. I do not remember.
Let me look this up.
I don't.
Please do.
I don't know that.
Because at the moment, Estonians, when they'll hear this podcast, the fact that I don't know of him that much, Estonians take very seriously in their pride of their heroes.
Wow, there's 2 U's with
two
umlauts.
U's, yeah.
Okay, he's a power forward.
Yeah.
6'10", holy jeez.
He played, when I interviewed him, he was with the Dallas Mavericks.
He has a big hand. He's a big
Just
hand.
one? I think both are.
And I've seen him at some like people always point him out. Also, it's hard to miss him 6'10", right?
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, there in some ways, now that I think of it, you probably were right that when he was playing, I remember the guys going, oh shit. Yeah, and Estonians will hear this, they'll be like, how can you not know?
Well, his Wikipedia page doesn't have any controversy on it, really.
You have to dig really deep.
I don't really want
to get into the darkness.
Yeah, the deep web.
Something happened, Sam, and they're trying to hide it.
Yeah, yes. I can imagine.
So, sorry to get all bittersweet on you and that you are leaving. You've been in Vancouver now for how long?
Almost a year. I left for 1 month in January, but the years, it's 1 year.
Now, I spent a year in another country when I was younger, and all the way through, it seems like a long time until you get to the end.
Absolutely.
And it was like, where did the time go?
It's always like that, right? Creature of habit, especially. Did you work at the place you went to?
Yeah, I worked part-time.
I do gigs every night. Just, goes. Another gig, another gig, another gig. Goes pretty quickly.
But you made a name for yourself while you were here.
I just work hard. That's it, And it gives me... I just love working through the ranks again. You learn to be... I've never taken any shame in going to like open mics or something. And a lot of artists that do get some sort of a break, absolutely. Because, you struggle so hard and then you feel like you got out of it. But I enjoy it. So I don't really feel like there's something to get out of. I enjoy the whole grind.
Because you reached a certain level in your home country of Estonia.
Yeah.
Right? So you didn't have to do those kinds of shows. Now, but when you come here, there's an extra challenge in that now you're... I guess you were performing in English anyway there, but now...
No, not there, no.
Not at all?
There is an English open mic once a month, but that's it.
Yeah. So here you have to perform in English, and you have to get your point across.
Absolutely.
And you got
find your voice, all that,
Yeah.
And but I enjoy it. I just enjoy performing. Going back to the open mic circuit, meeting young, hungry comics, seeing comedians. The level is still much higher here, and it is very high. There are a lot of funny people in this city, and there are a lot of people who put you in interesting positions as a performer. Either their act is very eccentric, even maybe their act is very polar opposite of yours, and very refined. So you cannot, so to speak, fuck around. You can't just relax, even though you can. Absolutely, you can. I have fun all the time on stage, but what I mean is it does put that perspective of you do want to do well, you do want to perform well, you want to be funny, and you want to stand out, And obviously I have my own strengths and my weaknesses. Being from Estonia, that's the strength of that. Often when I mention that, or the host says that, I get my foot in the door for a second. They'll give me a 30 seconds. If it's a rowdy room, they'll give me 15 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to sit up and listen and go,
Canadians are
we don't know any Estonian comics. Let's hear what this guy is all about.
And they'll give you a chance, right?
Yeah.
And maybe in a rough room, if I have a bullshit act, maybe they wouldn't give me that respect from there. But that's what I've loved doing here, really.
So there's a wide variety of types of comedy you say that you come across here.
Absolutely.
In Estonia, it's a burgeoning, it's growing scene.
Just up and coming, and the styles are very similar because it's a small scene, and every country, not only in stand-up comedy, every city has a voice, a rhythm, a pace that's very noticeable, Why will people sometimes say, my favorite place is Warsaw, Poland? Sometimes people say that, absolutely. One of my favorite cities in the world, one of my favorite cities just to chill out is Warsaw, Poland. I just love it.
Well, you went to school there?
Not in Warsaw, Gdansk. Whole different. As a kid, it's different. As a kid,
remembered something about Poland from the last time you were here. Yeah.
As a kid, different. These are two different experiences. And often Americans would come to Estonia because they like the feel. There's something that every scene, a city has, right? And the same thing is in the humor, the comedy, right? I enjoy the Vancouver crowds. A lot of people be like, oh, it's PC bullshit, No, sure, you could find that if that's what you're looking. But if you look for a good crowd, an educated crowd, there can do no better than a Canadian crowd because you guys are very educated in terms of your school system, in terms of your liberal views. They're very forward-looking, and also your cultural experiences. You've seen premier entertainers throughout your life. You're educated in stand-up comedy. You have lots of talent here. So performing for Canadians feels almost like, and seeing them laugh the way they do, it feels good to myself to be like, oh, I'm like translating my own story to you, and people enjoy that,
Well, Sam, did you know this? Estonia has the second highest literacy rate in the world.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
What is literacy? It's something with reading.
Maybe they don't.
Literature,
it's reading ability.
Yeah.
Reading ability?
Yeah.
Able to read and write.
Wait, who can read?
Well, I think that's proof right there.
There are some groups that
if you can't read, don't come to my show. Can't read, I don't want. No.
So it's funny because you mentioned Canada has a good education system, and that helps in the audience, and then obviously also in Estonia.
Yeah,
it is. And you know what's also funny? You guys are so into like bilingual stuff.
Well,
you're like, wow,
we're forced to be into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also what it's very, like you'll meet like a Slovenian dude who's like, I know 4 languages, and I'm like, it's not your choice, right? You get fucked by 3 different countries. Right? And for me, it's my Finnish from my stepdad, a little bit of Russian because that's what we learn in school, English and Estonian, right? For us, like Estonians, if you're, here it's like bilingual, you're interesting. If in Estonia you're bilingual, that's just not retarded. Because if you know like just Estonian, you're the swamp guy looking at cars. You're like that sort of a guy. So here it is interesting how people, look at that.
Oh, hey, Ari. Let's see. It's been a while since we've done this. Hey,
it has.
Yeah.
Oh. What is this now? I remember last time I did something.
You just got to... let's see how you do with this. Fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you ready, Sam? Are you ready, guy?
Take it.
This is... Ari Matti, and you're listening to What's So Motherfucking Funny on CFRO 100.5 FM, Vancouver Co-op Radio.
I forgot. We should have just done this. But that was great, Ari.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sponsored by ear doctors.
I managed to catch the levels there.
I heard that, I challenged you. And that's your training. That's why you're a professional. You were ready. You pointed at the clock. I did the commercial.
Professional here on community radio.
You know what's wonderful about Vancouver? I was just walking here outside. Wonderful during summer. So nice. I was walking here, and I saw 2 banging chicks, Canadian women, beautiful too. All kinds of different backgrounds. They dance, they have heels, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these banging chicks were out there, and they were like, 2 of them were puking side by side, holding each other's hair.
Oh, where was this?
It's just right here, just outside. Because there's a bar here.
Oh yeah.
$2 tequilas tonight. We should go, guy, after this. $2 tequilas.
Will you hold my hair?
And and they were puking, and then right next to them, the third girl was waiting. She was just with her arms crossed, just waiting for her friends. And another dude was hitting on the girl that was waiting, and he just kept saying, "Look at my fucking tattoos."
Oh,
and just pointing at his tattoos.
That's what Sam says all the time.
What are you talking about?
And
I do, but not in that context. Mostly to other men.
And the chick was quite into it, and they were puking, but still ready to party. I love Canada.
Baby.
It's just like, I love when people fuck. Hey. I just imagine those guys, like that dumb guy with the tattoos, and that you have a retard chick or whatever, right? Some dumb chick, right? Whatever, but beautiful, right? 2 beautiful young people. I just imagine them, like, later. It's got to be amazing to fuck when you're stupid as... Stupid and young.
We excuse Ari a lot because English is his 4th language, so he doesn't know that we don't call women chicks here.
A chick, a 19-year-old beautiful chick, she goes to parties, she sucks dick, she has fun. I support that, absolutely.
He doesn't really know what he's saying. These are
he totally does know what he's saying. That's the greatest part about it.
Feminism 101.
Oh, yeah.
I empower that. Puke on me.
You'll pay for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's make the economy safe again. It's been bouncing. I talked to Levi's dad.
I'm sure they're unilingual.
Talking about our neighborhood here, and it's a pretty gruesome one.
Absolutely.
Right. Are there similar neighborhoods in Talinn?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. Because, I saw some videos this past week from Zurich, which I think of as a clean, modern Swiss city.
Sure.
And this was 10, 15 years ago or so, and they had a really bad problem with drugs until they cleaned it up. And there were some areas that looked not dissimilar from what we see outside. So I was wondering about if there are similar areas in your country.
Yeah, it's one of those, I guess it's one of those things of like, Western metropole cities, and you can say the same case for like a Bangkok or a London or whatever, right? It just seems, when there's so much people together, so many different backgrounds, things like this will happen. And also the climate here obviously is good for that. In Estonia, it's so cold. You can't be a professional homeless, because it's so cold. You can't just stay out. You'll die. It's minus 38. What are you going to do?
Right.
Well, you got to do something. And sadly, people do freeze to death. But the magnitude here, it is very different than anything I've seen. Here it's like in Estonia, if I'm like walking and I hear that, I know, we call, get him out of here. This is, people would come out of the house, but here it's like,
Yeah, I passed one coming in today.
Here I've walked and just hear like from the alley, like, women, children scream, like somebody's hacking them apart.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Vancouver. Vancouver.
2 blocks from the busiest tourist part of the city,
When do you leave Vancouver, Ari?
4th of July, 7 a.m. flight. 3rd of July is my show, so I go straight.
Yeah, I was going to say. July 3rd, there's a big show. You're closing it out.
It's the Rio Theatre.
At the Rio.
Ari Matti, Imported Goods. It's on Eventbrite, Facebook. If you just go ARIMATTI, you'll find it.
You'll stay up all night and then fly out on the 4th back to Estonia. Now, Dino Archie's going to be on the show.
Dino Archie is the special guest. I have Ola Dada from Blackout Comedy, Andrew Packer from Jokes and Tokes, and then Andrea Jen, a very promising young comedian.
Perfect. And now, did you choose these people? Are these people that you had a special connection with?
I did choose these people, and also I just felt like doing that sort of a show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just like those comedians.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a big, fun show. It's a farewell show, but, maybe you'll be back.
Absolutely. My plan is still definitely find, I'll go, back to the drawing board. I'll do some catch up on my Estonian a little bit, try to perform for there a little bit, and definitely, the Canadian stand-up market and this Vancouver has been very kind to me. Definitely come back.
I don't know if I asked you this last time, but when you go back and now you're performing in Estonian, can you take the material that you did in English and just transliterate it, or do you have
it's one of those things,
make major changes to it?
Like I said before, language is not grammar. It's about the connection, right? Yeah. The way I speak, the way I say things, in English, right? I know the words, but the way I might say it or the way it's still my personality coming through my accent, so to speak, into another language, right? And when you perform for somebody from, let's say a Canadian reference would be if you're like a Vancouverite performing for Vancouverites, already here, just being here for such a short time, I feel absolutely like this is my home right now, and I can talk about the Vancouver stuff. I can talk about the attitude. Mm-hmm. I can do a like a gasp. People love that here because there's people in Vancouver do their favorite thing. 2 favorite things they love is lattes and gasping. Like people gasp all the time. I've never heard so much gasping in my life. Oh yeah, like you go to
from the audience as you're performing, or just out?
No. I mean,
too much foam on my latte.
I mean, the people, or like you hear a conversation next. You're in a cafe and drinking my little coffee, and I feel, hearing like, November, and then,
I hear that a lot when I'm driving for my wife. It's,
yes,
careful.
Yeah.
You were talking about when you moved here. You're only going to spend a few months in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then go to Toronto or go somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that was.
What happened?
I really liked it here. I just loved it here, and just wanted to get a better feel for the city. Started to get better gigs.
Yeah.
It was enough gigs for me, enough of a scene. And also I've got a classic, got a good rent deal, right?
Yeah.
That's a part of your career.
Are you passing on your rent deal to another comic?
Absolutely not.
Good for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A good rent deal in Vancouver? Unheard of.
Yeah. So material, no, I would say it doesn't translate. But the skills absolutely do. Feeling comfortable in front of a smaller crowd, different crowd. The rooms here, bar rooms, I've done those now again, there has to be something that happens to you. Like I don't have a job anymore, like a real job, and I don't go to college, so I'm scared to get really stupid, you know when you like look at a math thing and you're like, I used to do this, and now it looks, you might as well shit on the paper and smear it. It's as much as a Pythagoras theorem to me. I do not know shit, so I was like paranoid about that. But definitely being bilingual in your performance has to do something to your brain that opens maybe some new ideas to think about. Because I'll be here, talk on stage, and I'll in my head be like, this is funny because it's an Estonian thing I'm saying, but I've never even thought of it being Estonian, right? I've never thought, because back home we laugh at how you guys potentially might be. But now, I'm coming out, I'm realizing something about myself, about my culture, about not only my country, just about myself, about how I've grown up, and I'm like, oh yeah, when you go sauna here, there's not a naked man who like attacks you and washes you, like tells, like an
you
old,
gotta pay extra for that.
When I was like 11 years old, I have a memory of me and my friend going to a public sauna, bathhouse in Finland, and this old Finnish man, fat man, we went into the sauna scared, little kids, we take our dicks out. That was quite comfortable. We were not scared of that. But this man started like yelling, like get down, get down, like get down, get on the like stomach down on the bench, right? And he would beat the fuck out of you with eucalypt leaves, right? Like and my friend would look at me with like teary eyes, like scared, like because he thought, I was like, let's hang out and play Nintendo, right? He did not know that we were gonna do this thing with my family, and he's beating him, wah wah wah, and then it's my turn. I'm so scared, beating him, wah wah, and then washes and teaches us and tells us
he works there.
He doesn't work there, but he's the sauna guy.
Wow!
And he went, now go wash.
So this old guy taught you how to bathe?
And we were, but he was like, but it's a thing in Finland. Go down, I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Okay.
With these leaves. Have you seen that? Like,
no.
In Russian, it's like bashka or some fucking word for that. Go! Russian beating with leaves.
Russian beating with leaves. So it's going to take me.
It's like eucalypt leaves, I think. Vihtima. Well, that's in Estonian and Finnish. We say vihtima. Fucking.
Yeah, you were a victim.
Yeah.
A sauna, okay.
Leaves, beating with leaves. Yeah.
Banya.
How did we get onto that?
Well, Russian, the word banya may refer to a public bathhouse. Okay. And the sauna.
And there's always the sauna master. He's the guy who throws water on the rocks and beats you with leaves.
Okay, we got to figure out what these leaves are. This makes for great.
Bana, or you said something.
The bathing ritual, banya.
Banya, banya. That's the one.
93 degrees Celsius.
Finnish and Estonians do it as well.
Yeah, bunches of dried branches and leaves from either white birch, oak, or eucalyptus.
Birch. That's what we use.
And you get so you get beaten with sticks.
Yes, and good beating.
Yeah,
it shocks your pores and the heat.
Wow.
Did you ever have it done again after you were 11?
After that, you were scared, but then you had that bath, and as an 11-year-old, you're like, wow, this is a relaxing sleep.
Yeah,
and then
you just got beaten up.
Yeah, and then my stepdad would, build a sauna, and we started beating the fuck out of each other with those leaves, like good beating, give me a good one. There's nothing more than
bonding.
Absolutely, so much bonding, And now I always
bondage.
And sometimes some of my friends are maybe a little, I'm a city kid myself, so in Estonia there's nothing special. But maybe, there'd be Estonian. I had one friend, and he lived in America for a while. Estonian heritage, but lived in America.
Yeah.
Very westernized, And I dragged him in to the sauna and started beating him, being like, no, this is what we do. And he's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, yeah, this is what we do. And then after it, he was like, man, that was quite relaxing. I'm like, yeah.
Have you tried that here?
Give me the leaves. What can I get?
Well, just go to any tree and
also,
take down some
you guys
branches.
don't have that hot sauna. I can't start beating you with leaves because leaves will start flying around and people will look at. Listen, I respect where I am. In Estonia we go to the sauna naked. I'm not some savage who just goes with his Hillcrest Community Center. Just goes with his. This is my heritage.
They are separated by sex, though, gender, aren't they, in Estonia or not?
Some. Yeah, well, now obviously. Like a regular maybe spa will have clothes, but I don't mean what I don't mean is maybe not as a business, but let's say if you come over to with your wife kids, I have wife kids, I have a cousin you've never met, the neighbor, we all go naked. That's already in the textbook.
Okay.
So maybe we have some beers to get, maybe we have some beers to relax.
Give a couple to the kids.
Yeah. But it's not like a sexual thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, And, you know, if you show up with a towel, I'll yell at you. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you making this weird?
Making it weird.
Like, what are you, a pervert?
But what do you sit on?
Your ass cheeks go on the wood.
Oh, Jesus
And that's
Christ.
the good, when it's like 120, 20 Celsius, that gives you that first, and then you breathe in that hot air.
They gasp in Estonia, too.
But different. That's our gasp. Right, and you
Pain
breathe in that
reaction,
hot air, you know, your face starts sweating, your balls start sweating, you know, and you talk to your friend, you have a beer, you know, it's beautiful. You beat yourselves.
Sam, you got to go visit Ari in Estonia.
I will beat the fuck out of you with leaves, both of you.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I assume Ari's going to just beat me up anyway. Like with leaves, just you come out of a, you know,
sometimes they
cemetery.
do beat you so hard that there's no leaf left, it's just a stick, so you get whipped.
What
Does it leave a mark?
Yes. Oh. Well, if it doesn't leave a mark, I don't want you beating me. And also, like, the sauna, like, naked, it's not like a gay thing, you know. And I do remember, like, if you make like a homosexual joke, like, or like mention it even, you know, like you will say, like, I'm never touching your dick again. You know, like,
wait,
like, because now you made it weird.
Yeah, wait, now you've made it weird.
But why the again?
I was washing your dick before.
Wait, why are you doing that? What's happening?
Maybe not that, but come on.
So now you're the old Finnish man.
I'd love to be.
Well,
it's a tradition, you know, he has to pass on to.
And I remember being a kid and being like in like after a gymnastics practice, there were these old men getting. We have saunas everywhere. Every house, every cabin, every gym has it. Basketball, you go play. You go to sauna. So ingrained in our culture. And I remember going to the sauna. There was these men like drinking vodka and beating each other with leaves and shit. And they would like old men and they would slap each other's dicks as a joke. And that kind of scared me.
That's insane.
Yeah, but you know, it's not sexual. It's fun.
I don't know how it's fun to.
I'm not going to hit your dick.
No,
Sam.
of course.
Yes.
Well, why not?
Yes. Well, not here.
Okay, thank
Canada.
you. But like, can you just do it with like a bunch of leaves?
No, I'll slam the shit out of you.
Hey, when you're being beaten by leaves, is it all over? It's your back, it's your legs,
it's
the
shoulders.
front,
That's the best for somebody. You know, you do it to yourself too sometimes too, but that's not it. You want somebody else, you know, because you can relax.
You beat yourself.
You know, it's so hot, you know, in that room, and then you beat yourself. Your pores open up, you know.
Oh, is that the reason why?
I think. I mean,
but the heat opens your pores.
Everything opens your pores. We're opening everything.
Yeah, I wonder what the science is behind that.
I got to go to a sauna, I think.
Here.
I'm sure there's a Russian bathhouse here.
They don't do that.
I know. I'm sure there's a Russian bathhouse here. They will banya.
I know there's like a bathhouse like 2 blocks from my house.
Yeah.
Is there a community of Eastern Europeans or specifically Estonians in Vancouver that you met?
They do come to shows when they pass through. Quite often there will be an Estonian at the show who will see that I post on Instagram or something. But very small community. Yeah.
Now I heard, you know, there was a press release for your show on July 3rd at the Rio Theater, the farewell tour or the farewell show for Ari Matti.
So dramatic.
It said Estonian comedy superstar Ari Matti. And I was wondering, you know, because sometimes publicists exaggerate. I don't know your level of fame in Estonia.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes bios are full. Like, I've had bios where they go, yeah, this young Norwegian kid. They just add that for sometimes they do that. They're like, because you know, like my name is Finnish,
right? And
maybe somewhere I said, you know, oh, I'm, you know, I'm also half Finnish, but we don't really say that in Estonia too much. We don't emphasize. Like here, it's like I'm 25%, ha ha ha, and we, you know, everybody's mixed. So you're just wherever you grew up. Yeah, so anyway.
But I was wondering if you, as a famous Estonian comedian in Estonia, that would be like a famous Canadian kiiker. Is that how I pronounce it? Kiiker? It's a swinging thing, the Estonian thing.
Yeah.
Like here in Canada, if somebody was doing that, and we went to Estonia and said, oh, he's the most famous kiiker in Canada. Is that
Just sounds like a racial slur, guy.
No, it's a sport, right? It's like swinging.
Yeah. It's you swing and you do lap.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like a rope swing.
Sure.
And the diameter is very big, so and it's like a metal thing, so you can get a proper swing going. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
I will also say, have you been to Hastings Steam and Sauna?
No.
The Finnish style bathhouse in Vancouver?
No, I have not.
I'll give you more information after the program.
Give me more information.
You got a couple more weeks.
We got it. No, we got
1926. It was opened.
You guys both got to go. That's where Charlie Demers goes.
Yeah, the nude place.
I don't know about that, but
and dicks out and everything, Sam.
I think so. Although it maybe not anymore.
Don't make it weird.
Let's go. No, Sam, don't make it weird. You know, if I touch your dick, it's because this is a sauna.
It's an old Estonian tradition.
Yeah.
So, I was making a bad analogy to your level of fame in Estonia. Like, how big is comedy there? Or is it that you are really well known?
Quite big.
Within the comedy community?
Comedy community, absolutely. But, of course, it's not some huge, like, let's say, okay, let's think about it. Maybe a tour of 10 gigs, let's say. A tour of 10 gigs, I can go through maybe 5,000-6,000 people, let's say something like that.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a tour of, let's say, 10 days in a row. You do the theater rooms or whatever. Let's say something. So that's something like that. Percentage-wise, it's quite big in Estonia. The management site, management Facebook page that I have has 30,000 likes, which is quite good. Those are where all my gigs are at. Open mics are slam-packed, 200-300 people sometimes at open mics.
Which is crazy.
Sometimes 500-600. We've done open mics with 1,000.
It's just people trying it for their first time can go up on that stage.
Oh, absolutely. And also not even that, but since there is a small community, you have to always release new material,
Yeah.
Even doing the same open mic with your same material. Although you might do it, it's all in your own head, Sometimes there'll be 20 people out of 200 who heard it, but you know how that feels as a comedian.
Sure.
In your head, you're already like, oh my God, the trick is out, right? So there is kind of that, but there is absolutely a potential to sell, let's say, best case scenario, I can do a tour, hopefully, maybe sell 15,000 to 20,000 tickets.
That's amazing.
But that would be getting every comedy fan on my side, right?
Yeah.
Which maybe you do not want. Who knows? That's all I'm saying. Let's say 15 to 20,000 people are aware of Western stand-up comedy that they do want. Right now. Could be more. Hopefully will be more.
Well, if you're capturing a quarter of the market share, so they say there's a potential market in Estonia of 20,000 people who know Western-style stand-up comedy, and you, on your already established tours, are getting 5,000 to 7,000 people. That's a huge portion of the people who like comedy.
And these are coming out on the basis of Ari Matti's performing, right?
But then...
not just comedy is here.
Absolutely. But then when we maybe take the podcast people in, and then we take maybe just people who've seen me on TV, and the potential is much bigger.
Sure.
But I have to convert them. So do the other acts. There's terrific acts in Estonia. Ardo Asperg, Sander Õigus, Miikal Meemaa. There's all these dudes.
They're great.
And they're doing their part as well of getting more people on board, with your style and with whatever you do. So there's absolutely potential to grow, but nothing like the Western market.
I'm giving this one to Sam.
Oh, yes.
How do I do this? This is Sam Tonning. You're listening to What's So Funny on CFRO 105 FM.
105, that's what you say.
1005 FM.
0.5.
0.5.
God.
Terrible.
At least I had character.
Vancouver
Right?
Co-op Radio.
Yeah. Character.
Nailed it. So, style, Estonia, right? How would you compare it to where we are now? So we had a guest, Lisa Frischemeier, on from Germany, who was commenting that the dominant style, at least in Berlin where she was, is that it's like kind of that 80s style, that very brash kind of bang, bang.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as the development of a scene goes, right? Where is it in Estonia?
Maybe the actors and the famous people. See, every scene goes through that.
Yeah.
And, when America, it's happening again, with the Jeremy Piven, famous actors who might not get roles. Because stand-up is easy to make money if you sell tickets.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing ever.
One guy
with a microphone.
Person.
All take the cash.
Woman.
Right? All you have to do is really sell tickets. The porn star.
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who didn't sell that many tickets, I understand.
Well... That's because I said Canadians are educated. You already know going in. This bitch sucks dick. Why am I going to hear her little stories? About,
I guess we don't care as much. I mean, to a certain level, but about celebrity.
No, I don't think so.
Because you've had that, you have Jay-Z and Rogers Arena. You already know this game, and so there are that, and that could be maybe slapsticky, because it's not quite stand-up. It doesn't have that personality. It's very theatrical. It's written by multiple people, and they haven't had that refinement of open mics, so all that, and the skill isn't very high. Like they think it is because they're theater guys. They're like, well, I nailed it, and you're like, nah, I didn't laugh.
Yeah,
you didn't nail dick, right? Like. Right? I don't know why I did that character, but as an actor would, so there is that. But maybe the young comedians, lots of storytelling, and quite personable. There are, let's say, I was maybe the most physical of them for sure.
Okay.
Just because I got confidence to do it. Because when you're in a small circle and you're all hanging out with each other, you definitely get influenced, not only by your themes, but by your pacing. And, it's just what happened. It's normal. There's nothing negative about it. But there's definitely, in terms of an artist, getting out and getting a breath of fresh air is good for you. Seeing other things, getting ideas, Sometimes I'll see somebody, I'll see a Sam Tony, grab the mic stand, do a cartwheel in the middle of a bit. And I'll be like, Sam, I've never thought of that. Maybe 20 years from now, I'll do a bit and I'll be like, Sam did a cartwheel. How about I kick this girl in the front row? I get the message, Have balls to do things out of the box.
Yeah, hey,
if
my move.
If you haven't seen Ari Matti, I've seen you a few times, and what I've noticed is that you love to, like you're doing here tonight, say things that shock some listeners.
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so. Maybe it's not your purpose, but you're not afraid of breaching or going on any topic, whereas some comics might be.
Okay, maybe, but that's also my style.
Yeah. This is a positive thing, but I'm wondering, that can be dangerous sometimes. Have you ever sort of crossed a line for yourself where you've gone, maybe I shouldn't have said that?
Of course. Yeah. Sometimes you slip, you have a bad mood or something. Most of the time it doesn't get to me, and I'll still try to have fun.
Yes, you always have fun. I've always seen you have fun.
Oh, yeah. No. Sometimes I have gigs where I do not feel it going my way in terms of maybe for the audience, right? And then I sometimes will say I'll literally say I'll point at my head and be like, inside in my head right now, high school reunion, having a great time. So pick it up, right? But then they laugh. Obviously, they're like, yeah, that is funny, right? But no, I don't think my motivation has ever been to maybe shock.
No, not that. But has a gig ever gone sideways where an audience takes things the wrong way?
Absolutely.
Said, hey, you shouldn't say that.
Sometimes when you start out, sometimes when you start out, especially, but very less and less, and definitely very rarely now, because people see the glimmer in my eyes. They know my purpose is only to entertain.
Well, it takes a sophisticated, I guess, or a listening audience to know, like last time I saw you were talking about how your family basically sided with Nazis but you have to be able to present it and give the context of where you were coming from, and that you were abused by the Russians for so many years, that when the Nazis came, it was like, relief.
Yeah, that's maybe my only historical joke, but it's fun to do. And also,
but people are going, what the hell is he talking about?
But it's true.
Yeah.
But it's truth as well to it.
So that's why they have to listen and not just hear, this guy's a Nazi.
Yeah.
This guy who likes
the context is everything in that joke.
Absolutely. Context is everything. Yeah.
I think context is everything in every joke.
And also, I think it's also funny to think that a guy is saying that as well, because I'll sometimes laugh in my head of the horrible things I say, just because I know how this perception is going, and people laugh at that as well. It's like, this Estonian dude is crazy, right? And that's funny. That's at least what I enjoy.
You've spent time here. You've spent time in Australia.
Yep.
Los Angeles?
Nope.
No. Oh, see, I read that you had, and that you had a connection with Brody Stevens.
Okay.
No.
But he's one of my favorite comedians.
Oh, yeah. I see.
And I also have a tattoo.
But you have the tattoo.
My only tattoo.
I see. But you had no personal relationship.
Absolutely not. But absolutely not. But I'm just a huge fan.
He was great.
And back, when No, I'm talking like I'm fucking 72. Back in the day when I was struggling, I'm still struggling. I'm fucking stealing coffee. But you know, when it was, you know, when almost no tickets were ever even gonna move. I was in Australia. I had no idea that the Estonian scene would be so, you know, and also it's so established that they give me a way in, the Comedy Estonia group, right? I did not know of these things. But my favorite thing, go home, open up YouTube and see videos with 70 views sometimes of Brody filming himself for 2 hours at home, playing the drums, right? And driving, Bruce Springsteen blasting, playing the drums in the car, you know. Grabbing the mic, having the GoPro on stage, putting the GoPro down for 3 people, 12 a.m. slot, sits down and just gives them a show.
Yeah.
And, you know, you got it. Just enjoy it. Just that attitude, that unique delivery, so funny. Because it's true what he's saying. The connection between what he's thinking and what he's saying is so... He's not hoodwinking you. You know, sometimes you'll watch some maybe an unrefined comedian, or maybe he's kind of scared, and you're like, yeah, your act is a lot derived from fear of failure, right? So there are a lot of techniques in the way that you're putting, and I respect that. I respect closing strong. I respect seeing a refined act. I respect seeing a Sebastian Maniscalco puts together a great show. Everything goes according to plan. But with Brody, you know, that brain to mouth, you know, went to Starbucks, saw a cup of coffee, kicked it over, enjoy it. If you know, in the middle of the act, he will go, if you don't get me, if you don't get me, you don't get comedy. And it's like,
yeah,
he was
that's
great.
what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And it's so unique. Made me laugh so hard, you know.
And so then you got a tattoo, which was?
Push and Believe.
Push and Believe. That's something that he...
When the day he killed himself, never had a tattoo, and I was like, you know what, it would be fun to get a tattoo now. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll keep Brody with me. Push and Believe. Love that attitude. Love it.
Yeah. One of your favorites, obviously.
Absolutely.
Influence?
No. Maybe his projection. Sometimes I will project, you know.
The brain to mouth.
Maybe that. Absolutely, for sure, yeah. There's lots of acts that do kind of that. But absolutely, his projection, his attitude, positive energy. Enjoy it. There's 2 people depressed 1 a.m. Who can enjoy it? But he does. And that is, you know, sometimes in my head I will be doing in my act, I'll be, enjoy it. Say something horrible, you know. Raping kids, enjoy it. Right?
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
So how long were you in Australia for?
A year.
A year, too. In Melbourne?
8 months.
8 months.
9 months, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I was maybe a year and a half, maybe in Australia.
And the scene there compared to here?
Also amazing. Melbourne is amazing.
Yeah.
But Melbourne is the city in Australia as well. And that's how the reason I came here also, well, I had also an accident at the airport while I came here because I missed my flight. But I asked another comedian that I called, Joseph Green, very funny Australian. I asked him, you know, I said, what do you think? Vancouver, Toronto. You say, I'll go. And he just went, I don't know, I've heard of Vancouver more, I've liked the comics. You know, I heard a Norm Macdonald podcast. And I was like, sure, let's do it. You know, oh yeah, he's been on here, right?
That's right. Maybe that was that one.
Maybe it was. Because he talks about Norm living in Vancouver. And we were like, what the hell, you lived in Vancouver and worked construction?
And he lived in Victoria, our hometown, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Melbourne was also the hub of comedy there. Lots of entertainers, Ronnie Cheng, Nick Cody, they all do constant gigs there because that's the spot to grind away and hustle.
Yeah. So you will, after a while back in Estonia, getting your Estonian legs, you will return, visit, or live somewhere else?
Who knows in terms of...
You don't know.
What's my visa, passport situation?
In an ideal world.
In an ideal world?
Yeah.
I'd love to go to America and do gigs there just to see the country, see the culture, you know, absolutely, all of that. But Canada is also amazing. You know, I just love comedy. I love just performing at the moment. I love, I don't feel like I should leave here. At some point I will, absolutely, if I would have stayed longer maybe. But I just love performing. Just want to see more. Want to see more of the world.
What about Scotland?
Edinburgh. I'm going there for the whole of August. Yeah,
you're doing a show?
Yes.
Nice. And there they like their themed shows. Does yours have a theme?
Straight out of Estonia. That's my manager is putting together, so not a lot of pressure on me. I just go, I pay some rent, and he gets the room, all of that, so very nice, and not a big commitment in my end, so I can just chill there more. That's the theme, it's going to be a tough sell. There's so much competition there.
How big's your venue?
I wish I knew. Maybe 40 seats.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, something like
intimate, tight, boom.
Yeah, hopefully it will go well. Who knows? But Edinburgh Fringe, again, an amazing experience. You go there for 28 days. You just
I know. I'd love to go to the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
You too, Sam?
You see madness.
It's
I
insane.
went during the daytime. And
so you've been?
Yes,
Yeah.
And during the nighttime, daytime, we'll go into random venues because it's 80,000 shows in a month. 80,000.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's the biggest festival in the world.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the usual population of Edinburgh, it goes up 18 times.
The locals must love it.
Well, it's madness. People fly, people mobbing you with flyers, and you would during the daytime you'd walk in, every bar you pass has a show or going on that moment because it's 24 hours. It just keeps going. I would see. I saw this one guy. He was a flower. That was his act. A flower. So he doesn't say anything, and he's against the wall, and it's like a flower. It's like a contemporary art, And it lasts for 1 hour, and then he puts together his flower stuff.
Did you stay for the hour?
I stayed the whole hour.
And it was riveting?
It was me and another guy. Actually, he did say something sometimes. Okay. He would do like a sound or something and say of his flowery thoughts. And interesting. Absolutely interesting. Fascinating.
You want to get one of the top 10 jokes in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival one day? Because you've read the top jokes from all the British newspapers. They're the worst jokes ever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, things like Centaurs shop at Top Man and Bottom Horse.
That's a very Scottish joke.
Yeah, it's my vagina is kind of like Wales. People only visit ironically.
Very Scottish again.
Yeah. Insomnia is awful, but on the plus side, only 3 more sleeps till Christmas.
Hey, I've used that myself.
Yes.
That's a mathematical joke.
Yes, very much. Yeah. Very street jokey.
Well, when you're writing for a publication, you need those short hitters.
Yeah.
And they stand out. You go, I can use this, even if it's not the best.
Try to
joke.
translate my accent to that.
Yeah, you
Go fuck your mother. Whoa.
That's Joey Diaz, but
if you're being chased by a pack of taxidermists, do not play dead. What? How? Oh man, jeez.
Oh my
God. This is joke book joke stuff.
Hey, we're nearing the end.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't mention the song that we played off the top. I choose one for our guests, and tonight it was Morrissey singing "America Is Not the World," and there was a line in there that said, "In Estonia, they say you big fat pig."
Yeah,
is that something? Is that something they say in Estonia?
Well. I was a doorman in a jazz restaurant. One of my first real jobs.
Jazz restaurant.
Jazz restaurant,
Oh,
jazz
nice.
nightclub. Yeah, huge jazz. And that's how we got into the conversation of jazz at your place as well.
Yeah.
My first job, I was a door guy there. Then I became later a bartender. But anyway, I was a door guy. First, job of interacting with people, speaking to them in English, Finnish. I was a door guy. I was supposed to be the bouncer, so to speak, but it's a jazz club, not. Although,
Pretty
to be
sedate
fair.
crowd.
Well, to be fair, cops came twice. Huge brawls happened.
Really?
Yeah. If people get really passionate about fucking blues and shit, when you start arguing, you're hammered at the bar and you start arguing about jazz.
Yeah. Oh God.
And then, of course, sadly, the side story was sometimes they would come like black entertainers, and you know how it is. With just in the middle of the city, they're smoking outside, and just fucking 8 people go past, right, and just yell shit, and that would sometimes be, which was part of the. Anyway, I don't know why I got into that terrible route, but that was my first, in the city, and all these, a lot of boats, cruise ships from America and Canada as well would come through, and you would see American people, and they're fat. And you see a Western fat person, just a big, very close to that, barely walking.
It's different from the Finnish fat guy in the sauna.
Finnish fat guy, tall, big gut,
Strong.
tall, skinny arms, skinny legs, but big fucking gut, huge gut. Like a gut, as a kid especially, it's like a mountain. You know, like I remember my stepdad would sometimes get so hammered he would sleep in the kitchen with his back like on the floor, just spread out, his dick out and everything, right? And you would like
it's a theme.
And you would see him, and you just see a dick, like a mushed little piggy dick, and then a huge mountain of a belly sleeping as a kid, right? And you're a kid, the mountain is as tall as you know, and just this big fucking gut moving up and down, you know. You're like, but skinny legs and stuff, but an American was just full, everywhere full. You know, that big size, and it just blows your mind, you know. And, you know, people, when they are in high school or something and they see that, you know, you come to school and you go like, I saw big, fat, big American, you know. And it's not like an offensive thing.
It's not.
It's not. It's just a childish thing.
Don't make it weird.
It's a childish thing of like.
But it's funny that Morrissey would know that this is a thing. In Estonia, they say you big fat pig.
I'm not saying that specific is a thing, but if you say
it was enough to be in his song.
No, but a fat pig is a very usual.
That's pretty normal.
That is, but in Estonia they say it. That was the lyric.
Yeah, they also said they haven't had a black president.
Also, he said, like, there's no black president or a woman. Mm-hmm. We have a female president, so
there you go.
You know, we won.
You won.
Yeah.
We had a female prime minister.
She did not win.
She was prime minister for
it was
like 2 months.
Exactly. The conservative prime minister got voted out.
Ari Matti, well, good luck on the show at the Rio, July 3rd.
Thank you very much.
The night before you leave to go back to Estonia. I love getting to know you, and you've been a great guest. Two times on What's So Funny.
2 times. Same amount as my mom beat me. 2 times. Thank you for having me, and beat your kids.
Hey, get your shoulder fixed.
12 o'clock.
That was it. There we go. It's 12
time for
to
a
go.
protein shake.
Ari Matti, thanks, Sam. Thank you. And we'll be back next Sunday night with Who Knows. Tune in. Co-op Radio at 11. Sound like a whale.
Yeah.